Hello, today's Friday, and I'm Yomonto Moto, and we're heading home after a 10-hour day, long ass day. I'm beat. I wanted to talk to you today about a movie I saw yesterday. A couple of weeks ago I was clicking through YouTube movies or YouTube videos. One of the ads at the beginning of the video was for a movie about motorcycles. A movie about off-roading and going around the world. Or so they put it. What I remember about that clip, that advert, the impression I was left with is that it was about 5 guys that had never ridden motorcycles before, and they saw the Ewan McGregor and that other guy, shit, I really need to know his name, for videos about going around the world, because Ewan McGregor, Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi, what are you doing? What is that about? Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi decided to go around the world, and he did it twice. Well, once he went to Africa and then he came back. But that one was with his girlfriend that fucked everything up. So, that one doesn't count. Now, these 5 guys were really inspired into doing something like that, okay? So they decided to go. I got the impression that they were gonna go across America at the very least. And it was really cool because on the clips they show, they tell you they've never ridden motorcycles before. They tell you how hard it's going to be. They tell you this is insane. Hardest thing I've ever done. So they show you a bit where the guy's about to fall off a cliff. I bought my ticket right then, and I asked all my friends to buy their tickets. Of course, none of them did because they're just lazy fucks. No, they're just cheap and lazy. And yeah. Anyways, I got my ticket. I was waiting for it. I waited for it for a couple of weeks, a week and a half. So I get off work. I'm all excited. I jump on my bike. I go to the AMC, and there's already a few bikes on the motorcycle parking. So I'm all stoked, and I go up there, and there's a cop. There's a cop. I don't know why there's a cop there, but there's a cop there, and he was really nice, and he sees me in full gear, and he says, "Oh, your buddies are up there." I didn't come with anybody, but I guess a lot of other people came with gear on. "Oh, your buddies are up there." "Okay, great, let's go see the movie." Awesome. I start texting the other guys in the theater. Before the movie starts, I start texting them. "You guys all suck. You should have been here. This is awesome. It's a packed house." Pretty much. It was a very good turnout. They were said, they had to get this BMW FG something or other, they're off-road and street, and they take classes, and they take classes because they figure, we've never done this more than 5 miles, and they take classes, and they kind of get the hang of it. And it's 5 guys, 3 guys and 2 old dudes. I think it's 3 brothers, and what's this guy doing? And their dad and a psychologist guy. That's a little nutty. And it's a little bit funny, you know, the first 5 minutes or so, you know, they introduce the people, what they're doing, and the next 10 minutes they show the bikes and the idea of doing this, and that was about it. That's kind of where that was it for motorcycles. I saw that the focus was turning into storytelling, and the movie's called, in case I didn't mention this on the title of the video, the movie's called A Story Worth Living, which I get confused with A Story Worth Telling. And that's what it's about. It's about finding or making sense of the story of your life. And somehow they try to link it to motorcycle riding, because oh my gosh, this is the hardest thing we will ever do in our lives. So this is gonna define the story of our life or some shit like that. And the first guy they visit while they're on these motorcycles, and mind you, you maybe see 15-30 seconds of them riding a bike, heading off, and then boom, they find their first guest or person that they visit, and he talks about some airplane crash and some of his issues with self-hatred. And now this was pretty cool in the sense that, okay, it's an airplane crash, and he tells the story pretty well. I'm like, okay, great, goodbye sir, and let's get back to the motorcycles, right? And then they show a funny bit. They show a bull. The motorcycles have to get around the bull. Okay, so that was funny for like 2 minutes, and then they're playing poker. They're talking and playing poker. They're not talking about motorcycles. They're talking about girlfriends when they were 13. They're talking about how the father of the group misses the grandfather, his dad. They're talking about all kinds of bullshit that I don't even want to hear from my best friend. And I began to get uneasy. This shit's not ending. This shit is not. They just keep on talking, and they think it's interesting, and they're crying, and they're having their little powwow, and it's like being at a psychologist session you didn't want to be at, or some people you didn't give a shit about. And they kept on talking. I was getting angry. When I saw where this was headed, when I realized that this was not a motorcycle movie, this was not an adventure movie, which is what they led me to believe. And mind you, this is only half hour into the movie. That's when I grabbed my shit and walked out. I was so angry. I was so angry because I was so excited about that movie. was just angry. I wanted to punch those fuckers in the face. The fuckers that made that movie, I wanted to punch them in the face. And they were not at all entirely likable. I mean, one of the guys, he was talking about he was gonna get married, and they're like, oh, when's the last? When did you realize she was the one? And all the time I'm thinking, oh, he said she. Oh shit! I thought he was gonna say he. I thought the dude was gay. Those kids look totally gay. Not that it's a bad thing. I sound like Seinfeld. It's not a bad thing. Nothing wrong with that. But shit. I mean, if you're gonna talk about your feelings, and all the kids had the same fucking earrings, and they were all doing their best not to swear like regular people do. What the fuck? I need to get out of here. I don't know. I just dislike those guys. I wanted to like them because they all look like noobs. I'm sure they're good at whatever field they're in. I think it's at publishing. I'm sure they're good at that. But Jesus Christ, this was... You know, I was thinking after I left, it's like, what was the point? What came first? Did the motorcycle idea came first? And it turned out to be really fucking boring. And then they decided, well, we had a lot of talking while we were out, so why don't we put that? Or did they decide to do their psychotherapy with their dad on camera, and then they thought, hey, you know what would be really cool if we rode bikes, and then this would be like a present for our dad. You know, look at us, we made a movie. People are gonna pay to see this movie. Look at us, one more thing we accomplished. I don't know, man. I was also thinking, I know why they made it a one night only deal. Because if that shit kept on running, it would have tanked worse than Batman versus Superman. You know that movie that lost like 1,000% of revenue in the second week? This one would have been like that. They showed it one time, and then nobody would show up after that, because word of mouth about how sucky it was would have just killed it. Oh boy. Now, to be fair, I didn't finish the movie. I did walk out after half an hour. You know what? You know, at the point where you're walking out, you just don't give a shit what's going to happen afterwards. I was just thinking, you know, maybe it'll show up on Netflix. Maybe. I hope not, because that means they get money for that too. And then I can fast forward through all the shitty parts and get maybe 10 minutes worth of motorcycling. I was so angry.